In this video, we race Civics at Grand Valley South, and it is tight. We try and overtake the Ferraris, having the strategy of hitting the wall, and in race C, well, we get taken out completely as someone enters the pits. Hello everyone and welcome back to this Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023, week 40. Yes, we're getting closer to Christmas at this moment in time as it's October and we're at Grand Valley South in the Honda Civic Type R. Now this car is really fun to drive, really fun. What exactly are we doing here? Well, it's 7 laps. It's a good start with a false start check on sports hard tyres and BOP is on. Now do look out for this. SR is also on, so it does mean penalties apply. And it does impact your DR if you get, well, a lot of safety rating issues. Your DR will go down. Now, if you're not into race A, I highly advise you do try it, though. There are some timestamps there for you to go to race B or race C if you choose. However, we're sticking with race A. We're going to jump in the car and we're going to have some fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here we are then at the start. Who's in this one? We got Chicken Angel. Arkies is in this one as well. We got a few TCR in here. And we have to hold down a handbrake because the penalty check is on as we get ready here. Traction control on 1 here because it's front wheel drive. It's going to spin its wheels for days, as you can see right there. So traction control helping out massively. Remember to change gear and off we go then. I just waited another gear there before changing traction control as we head towards turn 1. That is a nice livery on Mario Sonic's car there. Now, I wasn't sure where to go here, so I decided to go on the outside. Very dangerous decision to make. It paid off there. We did advance a couple of positions and we can see Shelty in the distance as well. I wasn't sure where to go here, so I thought, oh, do you know what? Shelty is the right person to follow here. Let's follow Shelty as we go down into the Grand Valley, actually, officially, isn't it? This is actually the Grand Valley as we go through the right-hander then. And we go into this really dodgy kink here. So we go into this right-hander. Slight contact between the two up ahead and a barrier contact there as well as we go into the right-hander. And we're going to go into left Jackson there, just struggling there on the exits as we go on through up into P7 and Shelty with a 0.5 penalty. That will be track limits then as we continue on towards turn 1 on lap number 2. Shelty on the left, Max on the right. Oh, it's a bit like a takeout there from Max who's pointed left, but we're going to go on the inside of Shelty and Max hopefully here as we continue on through. Oh, 3 wide down exits, but Shelty loses out here and we're up into P6 Once again, heading down this hill. Very dangerous hill to get right this. I will explain this in the track guide as we go into the right. You see Max there. Oh, struggling. I had to really slam on the anchors then. Forced my car to have a bit of a dodgy moment there. And that really annoying beep with the gears is, yeah, very annoying, should I say. The one real bad part about this car. Otherwise, I actually love this car. It feels amazing to drive. You feel proper like a BTCC touring car essentially while racing this. It really does feel good. As you see Max here trying to defend this position. We're looking down the inside then in towards this right. Not going to quite work. Max just sending it there. And more oversteer action then as we go in to the left. And the final corner is coming up. Well, the final corner that you need to do something on at least there as we go through this right-hander. Going to accelerate out there. Max has gone wide there. Clipped a barrier maybe. A wall? No, I don't think so actually. I didn't hear any noise there. Did hear that beat though. It's honestly very annoying as we continue on now with the triple exhaust showing there. We're going to go to the inside of Max as we head towards the line to start lap number 3 side by side. I do highly recommend you try this race, honestly. I really do. It's a fun little race this. And this car, well, Shelty said it brilliantly in the Discord. It drives like an actual road car. Coming to here though, we get a tap from behind and then another tap from Max as well. Bit of a push to pass there. I was not happy, that is for sure. As we continue on out of there. You see me put my hands up there. Just like, well, why push to pass like that? Well, look at the bloopers, of course, as we always do, as we go into this right-hander then. So we're going to make the move again here on Max somehow, some way, as we go into the right then. And we've got to find a way to overtake here. It's very hard to overtake, that is for sure. Turn 1 is the best place to do that overtaking. So we go through this left though. Max goes a bit deep. I'm in 3rd gear here. Avoid that gear shift delay. And we're going to accelerate through then. That turbo helping us out as we continue on. Or the VTEC, should I say. The VTEC helping us out there. Chicken Angel with a penalty on lap number 5. We are catching this group here. Chicken Angel, Arkies, and Nebu up ahead then as we go into the left. Another touring car, Esca livery there up ahead on Chicken Angel as we go through this right. Very hard corner to get right this one. It's harder than it looks, this last corner. It really is difficult. Chicken Angel into the wall and we're going to go on the inside of Chicken Angel. Try and take advantage. Chicken Angel gives me room there. Thank you very much for that. And we're up into P4. And now it's time to have a bit of a battle with Arkies. Now, Arkies is going to try and defend. on this next lap, but we're going to advance a lap later where we're closer than ever to Arky's beeping the horn there as well. You know I hate that horn. As we go into the left, or slight left into the right then, should I say, in towards the braking zone. We go side by side as we go through this corner. Give Arky's room on the inside. Arky's gives me room on the outside, and we continue on through there. We just get the position. Brilliant racing there with Arky's. It really was. And do make sure you check out Arky's on YouTube as well as we head down here and into this right-hander, which we are now doing much better without somebody in front of us here as we advance towards the end and finishing in P3 in the end. Not too shabby at all. And again, a race I recommend you try out. It's really, really, really good fun, this race. It really is. Like literally, it's awesome. Just be careful of your SR. That's all I can say, really. Let's jump to the track guide then. Let me help you out with a lap here. So as you head towards turn 1, you've got the 400 board and the 300 board. I want you to brake in the middle of these, okay? In the middle of these boards and point towards the corner when you start braking. You can see the apex there, or the start of the real hairpin there. You're going to brake and aim towards that point, okay? So that's what we're going to do here as we go into here. Notice I'm straightening up all the way to the corner, and I actually brake a bit early on this lap. So we're looking for either the sand going to concrete or the curb that is after that. I've highlighted both of those there. They are your accelerating markers, okay? When you get to those points, you really need to start thinking about accelerating. The first one is a bit iffy with understeer, so you just have to be careful. Second one, you're full throttle, okay? And that's what I do there. I even lift a bit there, and I really shouldn't have, so I costed myself a little bit of time. I'm going to head down here then. This gets very tricky indeed. So as I pass 100 is when I start to lift here. And I keep it towards the left-hand side. Now, the line goes straight there before it goes right, okay? So it's going left, straight, then right. I am going to start braking just before I get to the straight part there. And you can see I've already started that right here. I'm just braking a little bit. I highly recommend you stay in 4th gear for this part, okay? It's very easy to go to 3rd, and the rear will do lots of weird stuff. 4th keeps the car very stable. I'm just slowing the car down enough here. I'm going to accelerate really fast through here. Avoid cutting that too much. And as you get to this point here, the sign or the line, or as you meet the circuit there, they are your markers for this right-hander. This is where you're going to change the 3rd gear as you tuck it in. Turn in early here, okay? This is a front-wheel drive car. It does understeer, okay? So, literally, as you turn in, you want to go through there. I'm actually staying in 4th gear there, but I should have gone to 3rd, to be honest with you. So, I'm better set up for this next corner. On the top right-hand side there that I've highlighted, there's a bit of green there. As that hits the edge of your screen, that is your brake marker for this next right-hander. You're going to brake in a straight line, and you're going to want to turn in as well. So, the 3rd gear here, it really allows you to chuck in the car. That's what I'm going to do again. Really, really turn in as quick as you can there. And as you head towards this next corner, the left-hander, you've got 2 markers here. You've got the left-hand side there, what holds the gantry, essentially, or the shadow. Now, I was actually using the shadow for this one because it's just in the perfect place. And I didn't really see the sun changing here because it's quite a sunny state of America, isn't it? So, it's always sunny. Let's put it that way. We accelerate in 3rd gear there. We stay in 3rd gear because there's a lot of power in this car as we then go to 4th gear. We're heading over towards the left-hand side. The end of the barrier on the left-hand side there. You can see the real chunky barrier ends there. That is your brake marker for this next corner. Again, 3rd, 4th gear, it is dependent. I quite like 3rd gear for this one just because you can chuck it in and then you prep for the left-hander, which is why I said earlier on you should really be in 3rd gear for that other corner as well. So as you come through here, I'm already set up then, and on the left-hand side is a yellow sign. That yellow sign, as it hits the edge of your screen, I'm highlighting it now so you can see it. As that hits the edge of your screen, that is your brake marker for this left-hander. Again, keep in 3rd gear. 3rd gear now all the way until you change back up to 4th. So stay in 3rd gear for this one as we go into here. Just slowing the car down nicely. Trail braking a little bit then as we continue on through. On the left-hand side, we've got Armco to brick, I want to say that is. Don't quote me on that one. But you can see the change in the barrier look there. That is your final brake marker. Now, you actually want to go out a little bit to come back in. It's a point and squirt sort of car, this, because of the front wheel drive aspect of it. If you're turning as you try and accelerate full throttle, you're going to get lots of understeer and lots of wheel spin. Notice there, I did go out a bit and came back. And then we're going to accelerate towards the start-finish line there. Really, really staying in gear, 3rd gear till the very end. Even got a bit of wheel spin there, but 4th gear, then 5th gear, and we get a 118.779. Still time in the lap, but that is it for race A. And as you can see, we're already in race B here. Group 4, Trowel Mountain Reverse. And I've chosen that Toyota Supra. What exactly are we doing here? So we see the brand new car in the background as well. It's 4 laps here at Trowel Mountain. It's a rolling start, and we are on racing medium tyres. You can change brake balance and suspension with this one, which is quite unusual for Group 4, but there you have it. I chose the Supra for this one. However, that Mazda 3 is quite a quick car, as you'll find out. Right, here we are then at the start. We've got GTR in pole position. I was actually top of the leaderboards initially. The Mazda 3, though, I actually forgot this car existed until I joined this race. And oh my word, I wish I'd remembered, because that car is rapid. As you see, over ahead already, can't speak, already, should I say, with Mario Sonic. already catching the guy ahead in the GTR. Very quick car here as we go into the braking zone. I'm in the Supra, which is, of course, more handling than speed. The Ferrari goes down the inside there, Romo Max. And as we head towards this right-hander, I look down the inside of the GTR, back out of it there, and we continue on through. And then if you look in my rear view mirror, there is another Master 3, and it's actually Shelty. Shelty coming on through then, looking to my inside. Got Robo Max to my left there, in the middle of two cars as we go into this right-hander. Smoke up ahead as well. We don't have smoke here because we handle it very nicely indeed as we continue on up here. Now, Shelty's going to make a quick decision here, brake a little bit here, so I brake as well. Quick reactions from both of us there. So I go around the outside of Shelty then. Obviously, an FF car does struggle on the corners, so I went around the outside and made it work as we continue on down here. We've got a GTR there to the left there. In the barriers. Not sure what happened there. We'll have a look at that in the bloopers as we go through this right-hander. And you can see we've got a train of cars now. An absolute train and a half of cars. That's a very nice colour on this GTR, I might add, with a very chrome green there that we've got in that GTR from Boulder Bossy, who did say hello in the chat to the TCR guys. Hello to you as well. As we look down the inside, then we've got Griff there going quite slow on the left-hand side, looking to take that position from Shaney Boy as we head down here. Oh, look at Chelsea with back of it. That Master 3, look how much it flies. It absolutely flies down the straight there. We got the inside of the GTR, Ferrari into the barrier, another one into the barrier ahead as well. As we go down the inside, we're getting three positions, one corner. Slight tap there between me and the other Ferrari. We'll have a look at that one in the bloopers as well, because I was running a bit deep, to be fair, as we continue on then to lap number 2. We've got a Mazda 3 up ahead. He may have the speed. It doesn't have the brakes, apparently, as we continue on through. Oh, nearly into the rear quarter of my car there, but not quite, as we are now in P6. Let's see what happens then in this race as we advance further on and we catch up to a Supra. Hello, Buck Stella. Nice to see you again as we go into the left-hander then. Taking a later apex for this corner. Highly recommend that line, by the way. Later apex, because you can just boot it out of the corner without worrying about the kink. So we're going to stay behind Buck Stella initially here because I wanted to try the slipstream. I was like, okay, let's see what the slipstream's like. Buck Stella takes a wide line through the corner as well. And as we continue on out of here, they've got a better exit, of course. Let's have a look at this slipstream then as we wait. Come on, kick in, kick in. Okay, it's starting to kick in now, slowly but surely. We do need to get this move done before the next corner. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck until, I would argue, turn number 1, actually. Not many places to overtake in the last sector of this track. As we look to the inside then of that Toyota Supra of Buck Stella, heading towards the braking zone. In we go, drop to 4th gear, keep it tight, keep it nice. Don't worry too much about the frame drops there because everybody will get them. It's not just your PlayStation, it's everybody's, as we took it in to the left-hander and we are up another place. We advance to the final lap then. I really wish this was 5 laps, not 4, to be honest with you, as we continue on through here. And we get a good run on Righteous Turkey up ahead. They put their left indicator on, so we're going towards that right-hand side, but unfortunately, it's not enough. Good little run there on them at the end. We finished P5. As I say, this is quite a good race as well to do. Master 3 is definitely going to take the king or crown of this race as we're going to go into the lap guide then and headed towards turn 1. I've highlighted 2 markers there on the left hand side. I'm doing it in the Mazda 3 as well, if you're wondering. So there's a marshal next to the barrier. I use that just as they leave the edge of the screen. That is when I brake in this car. You can use the stairs as well. There's also some billboards in the race if you want to use them instead. But as that marshal leaves with the edge of my screen there, I brake and come into the corner. Quite tight here. I go towards the left hand side and there's a van on the right, or a pickup truck, or a car, or some form of vehicle anyway, or vehicle on the right hand side. Sorry, it's just a random joke. On the right hand side, literally as that hits the edge of your screen, hit the brakes here and make sure you keep it tight then for this right hander. You want to get out of here as quick as you can, really accelerate as early as you can because there's a lot of time to be gained on that corner. It really, really is. The first part isn't as necessary as the second part. The second part is a priority. Already accelerating up the hill then, and literally on the left hand side you got the concrete barrier going to an orange or yellow tire wall there. I don't actually use that, but it's like my marker to start preparing to brake. But on the right side you've got a stone and a line of trees that are right next to the track. They are very good markers that I highly advise you use then as we go into this right hander. A later apex is preferred here. Going early, you're going to come out really awkwardly because that corner does tighten up. We're going to head up here then, and on the left hand side is a big old rock on the left hand side. The end of that rock, as it leaves the edge of your screen, is your brake marker. Well, at least it's my brake marker anyway. It's one I would highly advise you use. So hopefully it will be your brake marker when you go to do this lap. So yeah, as the edge of that rock leaves the edge of your screen here, I'm going in 3rd gear, and I'll notice a later apex. A later apex is better, and it allows me to accelerate in a straight line, which is what you need to do. Turn in early here in the Mazda 3, head over towards the left-hand side to give you the best line possible for this hairpin onto the back straight, which is so significant, okay? So much time to be gained here. So there's billboards on those concretes, except that one. And it's the last one. So you use that as your marker. Nice little marker. Separates the Gran Turismo logo from the Texaco logo. So I'm going to stay in 4th gear here, and I go for a slightly wider line. And as I come through here, that big stone there, it's huge. Like, would destroy a car in seconds. If it was an asteroid, it would wipe out a city, I imagine. But essentially, you are accelerating before you get to that point. The closer you get to it, that means you're not accelerating early enough, or you haven't quite got the right line. So if you can accelerate early enough, there you go. Now, I keep it in 4th gear in this car to avoid that understeer. Rather than trying to control the wheel spin in 3rd gear, keep it in 4th, just foot to the floor, and it does work nicely. On the right side, you've got 2 choices. There's like a electrical box on the right. Now, I do use that as my initial marker to prepare me for the next marker that I've also highlighted. I try and get as close to the second marker as I can. The electrical box is like my, okay, you need to brake now. The next marker is, that is my brake marker. So keep that in mind as you come into here. Very tight line needed here. Start accelerating early to avoid hitting the curb on the inside. It forces a bit of understeer. Now you got a big old rock again on the right-hand side. That is your brake marker for this left-hander. As you get to it, hit the brakes, trail braking as well. You know, if you're braking a front-wheel drive car, it puts the weight over the front wheels, gives you that bit more grip. It does help you out massively with turning. As we come into here, notice there, and now I'm going to start to accelerate as I go through this corner, trying to maintain that speed in the FF car. Now, as we head towards this left-hander, once again, we're using a big rock, and the big rock is right there for you, okay? So you try and get as close to that as possible. I'm braking a bit early here. You can brake a bit later. If you brake on it, you're braking a bit late, but you can brake a bit later than I'm doing right here, okay? So as I come into here, I'm accelerating now to force a bit of understeer because I did brake that tiny bit too early. Over towards the left-hand side. Now, this corner, very difficult to get right, but hopefully this guidance right now will help you. So the edge of the tunnel there that I've highlighted, that is my marker as I go into here. To dab the brakes and make sure the car starts turning in very nicely. If I accelerate fully over this hill, I'm just going to go deeply wide because it's a crest and the front is just going to lift up. Now, as I come through here, there's lines on the inside, okay? The second one that you see, and I've highlighted it there, that is your accelerating marker. It's at this moment you know you can make the exit of the corner and not run wide. Use that line, okay? As it hits the edge of your screen, start accelerating. You will make the corner, I promise you. It's a really good accelerating marker there as we continue on now. Notice there, I had loads of track to use there. I had to straighten up the car really early. As we come through here, I just lift off slightly then, and we're going to go towards that left-hand side, and again, slight lift. Another slight lift through here, and it's really just to make sure I don't understeer off. And I'm going to accelerate towards that line now. Let's see what kind of lap time that is. It's a 58.187. Hopefully that's good enough to remain with a ghost there, and you can follow my ghost. But we're in race C now. We're at Nurburgring. We're at the sprint circuit, and we're in Group 3, if you hadn't already guessed. And I'm in a Porsche, because it's a very strong car, as seen in the car profiles. We're doing 15 laps here at the sprint circuit. It's a rolling start on racing soft tyres. ×2 fuel, ×6 tyre wear, which is critical in this. And you can change the brake balance and suspension. There's quite a lot of suspension changes you can do this week. I chose the Porsche because it's a stable car and it's one that really gives me a lot of confidence to drive. So I did go in this car. But I think you're going to need one for tyre wear. And that's not where the Porsche's strong point is. Let's jump into the race. Let's have a look at exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start of the race. So we're in the 911, as I said. We've got a couple of 650S's in there. The Genesis in there, including a Womble up ahead. Now, is the Genesis going to be the right decision? We know it's good on tyre wear, and I do think this is going to be a tyre wear situation where you need a car which doesn't need to pit. We're going to head towards turn at 1. Let's see what we do in this race as we send it down the inside. We do back out of that a little bit. We've got a Mazda RX Vision concept behind us then in Sebastian Loeb as we go in to this left-hander for the first time of 15 laps. 15 is a long, long race here as we go into the next corner then here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm assuming it's still called that, but don't quote me on that as we go into the right. Everyone's side by side here. Very hard to decide where to go. Oh, I say side by side. Sebastian Loeb's just gone round there as we head towards the hairpin then into the braking zone. We go. I back out of this. Slight tap between Mario Sonic and the Italian up ahead then. We're going to try and follow Mario Sonic through there as we continue on. Oh, the Italian came back on the racing line there. Not the greatest decision. And that's actually cost us a couple of positions then as we go through the left-hander. Can we get on alongside Alessandro then? In towards the right-hander we go side by side with Alessandro. And we do get it stopped there and continue on else. We don't lose too much in the end. Bit frustrating that happened, but it is what it is as we head towards the chicane for the first time of 15. So it's all about track limits at the chicane, of course. As you know, don't cut the first part, but you can cut a bit more of the second part. That's the rule of thumb with this chicane. And that's what I'm going to try and do here and get the inside of the Italians on. I'll send as we continue out of this corner then. Looking on the inside. Not going to quite work then as we don't have the overlaps. We do back out of that to fight another day as we go onto that start-finish straight. Alessandro very close behind then in that Porsche 911. We're going to head towards the line right behind Zardos here and the Alessandro right behind us then as we head towards turn number 1. And we're going to look to maybe send this potentially. No, Zardos is going to send it. It's down the inside they go. Oh, into Mario Sonic as we continue on through. We're going to take both positions then. So we gain from that one as we advance a lap later. Now, turn 1 is the only place you can really make moves, to be honest with you. As I send it down the inside of Womble, I do make the apex there. Womble does see me as well as we continue on out of there and head towards the left-hander then. And we're looking to get on the inside of Womble then for the next corner. Womble loses the rear end a little bit then. Down the inside we go as we look to gain another position side by side through the left. And we've just got Womble just there. We do get Womble then. Up another position then. You check out Womble on YouTube, of course. As we head behind Shelty then in the Beetle. No other car will be chosen by Shelty, I imagine. It's always going to be the Beetle as we go through the right-hander. Shelty did use the Master 3, though, that I did suggest. Well played to Shelty. That was in the previous race, of course. So into the last corner we go. Lap number 3. Womble right behind us. And as I said just before, the first corner is the best place to overtake. And there's going to be lots of sends there this week in Daily Race C. Do expect it on the inside. It's a place I would highly recommend defending, or at least keep an eye on that rear view mirror when somebody does decide to send it. I'm going to send it down the inside of Shelty then as we go into turn number 1. We stop it on the apex beautifully there. Actually a bit short, to be honest with you. But we do get the job done. So up into P9 we go. Lap number 5 then, we catch up to Jammy, also part of TCR. Hello, Jammy, as we head into the braking zone then. Jammy gets it wrong, takes the avoidant action towards the left-hand side. Beautiful driving there from Jammy to avoid Disco Stew up ahead. And we're looking to get another place then around the outside on this left-hander. We just get it done there, just. We get a bit Jammy. Yeah, well, hey, yes, we get a bit jammy. Up into P8 then. We got Disco Stew up ahead in the BMW M6. Goes defensive this time, which is what I would suggest as we go into this braking zone. Disco Stew just breaks a bit early there, I would say. And we actually go round the outside then. Go up into P7. Hodgson and Sodable up ahead. They're fighting side by side as we continue on out of there. Bit of oversteer there from Hodgson, actually. Also part of TCR, of course. TCR takeover. That's what we do on Monday mornings, that is for sure. As we go into the right-hander then and continue on. Oh, rear end's gone on Hodgson. Well caught by Hodgson. But we're going to take that up into P6 we go. Now, I am looking at my left rear tyre at this moment and thinking, can I actually survive this race without stopping? And arguably, I could. But I was like, no, do you know what? I'm going to try and pit and see what it's like, okay? Very weird pit entry. I'm going to say, the animation is earlier than expected, as you can see there. Very odd indeed. So we're 12 seconds behind the leader as we go in. We are, as we come out the pits. 30 seconds, going to be 31 potentially there as we head out. So what is that? That's 19 seconds a pit stop. Quite a long time in the pit stop for such a short layout on a circuit. And, well, we'll see what happens. We've got Rickson coming out the pits here. I'm going to try and send it round the outside as we go into turn 1. Rickson did see me coming as well, so very good sportsmanship there from Rickson as we go round the outside of the Dutch driver up into P14. Now, we have quite a mission here to catch up, so I actually put the brake balance to the rear for this second stint because I was like, okay, let's go full aggressive then. Let's absolutely send this and see where we can go. As we've got Zardos up ahead, who hasn't been in the pits yet, just struggling in that Genesis as we continue on out of here. And we're looking down the inside. Are we going to go for it here? Not quite, but we are sort of showing our indications, should we say. We want to get past you very quickly because we're on a completely different race strategy here. And you ain't holding me back as we look towards the inside then. Looking down the inside. Zardos isn't giving it up just yet. Doesn't have to give it up, of course, but I do want him to, so I can continue on with this race as I go through the right-hander then, right behind Zardos as we head towards the chicane. And let's see what we can do here. Now, I don't usually send it at the chicane, mainly because it always results in a crash if the other person decides not to give it up. I do show my nose, though, in case they do make a mistake. And that's what I'm doing exactly here, then, as we go into the left and then the right. You see, Zardos does make that mistake as we continue on through, then, accelerating onwards. However, Zardos decides to pit maneuver me into the grass and go into the pit lane. Now, I was fuming with that one, to be honest with you. We'd already passed the pit lane entry. So you gain nothing from trying to go in the pits there, and we'll have a look at that in the bloopers as well. But I was fuming at that point. I did put well done in the chat afterwards because, yeah, well done. It was a very silly move, to be honest with you, as we go through the right-hander and continue on out. Now, Zardos did apologise and said he had no tyres left, so he had to do it. But we're going to have a look at that as we catch up to Jammy then. Jammy's had a bit of an issue there, and we're going to go down the inside of Jammy up into P12 then. We do have the fastest lap as well, and this lap actually is going to be an even quicker lap, although we are going to cut the chicane just a teeny tiny bit. So as I said, don't cut the first part of the chicane because that happens there. You get a 1 second penalty, and I'd highly advise you don't do it. But we did lose, I think it was 7 seconds from the crash with Zardos there as we continue towards the chicane once again. And through we go. Rickson just gets it all wrong. Oh, bit of oversteer. We get the run up into P11. So we can see that we've gained a lot of time now. A lot of time here on the leader, who is Sonic. So Sonic looking like he's going to win this. So we continue on out here. Lap 14 then. We're behind Disco Stew once again in that BMW M6 as we head towards the right-hander. Now, Disco Stew I don't think has been in the pits here as we continue on through. Just struggling with the tyre wear potentially. And again, I'm not going to send it at the chicane. I highly advise you don't send it at the chicane because, as I say, it will be a crash. There will be carnage and there will be arguments in chat afterwards, I imagine. As you see, Disco Stew goes defensive here. Now, I wasn't looking around the outside because I know it's not going to work. Good defense from Disco Stew. However, that can happen when you do go defensive, is that you're just taking too tight of a line and the car will oversteer. So we're up into P10 then. We're now under 20 seconds off the leader. So I'd argue we're about 12 seconds in reality off them without the crash. But who knows with traffic. We've got Hudson up ahead, who's had a bit of an issue on the last corner then. And we go on to the last lap as well at the same time here. Can we get past Hodgson as we head towards turn number 1? Into the braking zone we go. And Hodgson's actually going to let me go here. So I do appreciate this, Hodgson. Did mention it in Discord afterwards. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So up into P9. As we advance towards the end, 16 seconds behind the leader. Arguably 9 seconds without the issue of the crash. Let's put it that way. So that would have put us P5. So it does show you that the pit stop is slower irrespective. And you are going to need a car that does not need to pit. However, saying that, we're going to have a look at some of the tyre wear. And when I looked at it, if you look at Sonic's tyres, the left-hand side, they are gone. There's no tyre wear left at all. The Mazda is passing low. We saw them spin at the start. The left rear is gone, although the front's looking very nice. The Genesis, a little bit of tyre wear left. That Mazda's looking pretty strong, I would say. The Porsche there, Mario Sonic didn't pit, but you can see both tyres on the left gone. They did pit, obviously, there. And we've got Soda. Again, very low tyres on the left-hand side. So you are looking at that Mazda at the moment. It looks like out of those cars. So you're going to have to look for a car that doesn't need to pit. Otherwise, if you are going to pit, you're just going to have to absolutely yeet it on the second part of the stint. Head towards turn 1, though. Here are some brake markers for you. So you got the end of the tarmac. You got the 100 board or the start of the curb there. Any one of those as a brake marker for turn 1 will help you stop in time to make that turn in turn 1. So I'm in the Porsche here, if you're wondering, in terms of a lap. As we go into the braking zone here. So first gear, keep it tight. Then open up the steering very quickly to accelerate out to avoid power oversteer. Over towards the right hand side, be in the middle of the track before you go left. Dab of the brakes as you go into here. Now, up ahead, you can see I've highlighted both of them. You've got the painted orange barrier or the pole in the middle-ish. Either of those are your accelerating markers. As they head towards the edge of the center of your screen, that is when you're going to start to accelerate. You can see I'm on half throttle right now because it's about to hit the center. And then I go full throttle when they're in the center. As I head down towards this left-hand side, I use that pole on the left-hand side as a brake marker here. So as that disappears is when I'm going to brake. Or the very, very, very edge of the screen. You can see how close it is right there. So I'm going to hit the brakes. Now, you do want to use the curbing on the inside of the circuit, okay? There's lots of squares there. It's very grippy in any game. Never mind just Gran Turismo. Get on the inside there. Keep it to the left, then over towards the right. Use all the curb and accelerate through the corner. You can use a bit of the exit there, as I've done, and accelerate towards the hairpin. This is a sprint circuit, remember, so we're braking very quickly here. The 100 board or the start of the curb there, I've highlighted both of them for you. As you go into here, first gear corner, very slow corner. Some moves can be made into here, but again, it can get very clumsy, as we saw in the race, so just be careful if you are going to go for a move into this one as we go into this corner, slowing it down. It is an in, out, in sort of corner there. You can see that as we accelerate out. Trying to straighten up the steering as quick as possible because it does like to oversteer there. And as we head towards this left-hander then, the brake markers are either the split sector time line there that we've got, or on the right side, the barrier there that I've highlighted, the mesh, should I say, the end of the mesh. Either of those two are very helpful brake markers that I would highly advise you use here. I'm using the line there, basically, as I go into this corner, and I got it a bit wrong there as well, but you can see where to brake. Head over towards the left-hand side, and on the right, as the tarmac ends there towards the grass, that is your brake marker for this right-hander. Again, this one's more about judgment than actually using that marker. I sort of say, okay, it's getting very close to not having any tarmac anymore. That's when I'm going to brake, and you can see what I'm doing here. I turn in. You want to turn in a bit later than normal because that'll avoid the understeer. A lot of people turn in early, understeer, and end up a bit in the gravel there. And it slows them down all the way to the chicane, which you really don't want. As we get to the chicane then, the 100 board, or as the drainage widens, you can see either of those there. They are your brake markers for the chicane. Remember, don't cut a lot of the first part, but cut more of the second part. That is where you will gain most time. If you try and cut too much of the first part, you'll just get penalty after penalty after penalty. As I come into here then, you notice I use all the curb there, and then I use a bit more than just the curb there, and I don't get a penalty for this one. Heading towards the final corner then, we're going to be looking on the left-hand side for the orange painted barrier there. I use these all the time, so I highly advise you start getting used to these. But on the left-hand side, the orange painted barrier is my brake marker. Yeah, I've actually started to point towards the corner as well as I'm about to go on the brakes. And essentially, it's a long right-hander, so you want to start accelerating as early as possible. I keep it quite tight here, and as I leave the pit entry barrier separation thing, that's when I accelerate. And I'm going to head towards the line, and that is a 124.2. There you go. You can see that there. That's a default car, by the way. I get asked that all the time. Going to here then. Max hits the brakes. He's full on the brakes, releases the brakes, and hits the brakes again. Yeah, that's a push to pass, in my view, Max, and that is not an acceptable way to overtake. So, yeah, there's that one. Got a for sale GTR here, so if you're after a Group 4 GTR, it's apparently for sale. Although it looks like it's going to be spares and repairs after this one because it's hit the barrier a fair few times. So it says no stopping there. So at least Andreas managed to avoid that. But yeah, few contacts from the rear. Running to the here then, the two Ferraris both just understeer into the barrier then. And we're going to go clean on by on the left-hand side. But as we go into this braking zone, I go a bit deep. However, they do get rear-ended by that other Ferrari in the background. So I was right not to stop there. We have a look at Zados then, coming into here, outbrakes himself completely, hits Mario Sonic. Does wait for Mario Sonic though, to be fair there. So that's all good sportsmanship shown there by Zados. It gets a 3-second penalty as well, that's a bit harsh after waiting. And this is the big one for me, this is really the big one. So you've still got plenty of tyres there, you continue on through. I'm alongside here, you come off you just turn in. You can't turn in like that. You really can't turn in. So that is a really bad error by you. You need to use the radar more there to understand what's going wrong. You get a 3-second penalty on top of that. That's for the pit lane entry. So yeah, just really bad driving there from Zados. Did apologise, I say, but the excuse of having no tyres left, that's not really the excuse there. You had enough to do another lap. If you're going to go in the pits, you have to make the right decision and be on the right-hand side as you leave that corner. Cutting across when there's a car on your inside, you can't do that. Otherwise, you have to slam on and then come across. That's it for this video, though. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content. 2 videos there to check out, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.